Hello everybody and welcome to my further thoughts on Thomas Wood, and I'm still using my custom engine as my avatar. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because although I'm glad everyone enjoyed the original rant video, but there are some things I felt like I forgot to elaborate on. For example, why I think little kids deserve better quality toys than Thomas Wood. You see, one of my biggest pet peeves on the internet is that when some people use the "it's for kids" argument, or "it's a kids movie," or "it's just a cartoon," or in this case, "it's just a toy line." I'm not saying you have to hate Thomas Wood. I'm fine if you like Thomas Wood. But my point is, just because something is for kids doesn't mean it's free of criticism. In fact, Thomas Wood is so bad that even some of the parents and kids didn't enjoy it. I know this because I looked on toysrus.com and I was looking at reviews on Thomas Wood, and most of them got like 1 out of 5 stars, and the comments are so brutal. I mean, oh my god, you should totally check them out. You know what? Here, let me show you some. You guys get the idea. But don't you see? That tells you that there's something wrong. That tells you that this is a bad decision on Mattel's part. That tells you why the "it's for kids" argument doesn't work. And that's why my opinion on Thomas Wood still stands to this day. Heck, I'm surprised that Mattel doesn't even care about the criticism they received from the customers. For example, on FisherPrice.com, some customer gave this a negative review saying that it was a poorly made set. Mattel responded to this saying that they're sorry, but to make matters worse, instead of providing a link to their support page, they gave the customer a link that led to some news article by Fox Business stating that teenagers don't know how to manage money. Really, Mattel? Is this how you treat your customers? That's not how you treat your customers. You're supposed to treat your customers with respect and accept criticism. Also, how would you know that that reviewer is a teenager? It could be an adult who wants best for his or her children. Now, I'm not saying that everyone at Mattel's a bad person. I'm sure some of them are really, really nice people in real life. I just think the producers of Mattel really need to get their act together in terms of their merchandising. That's all. Another thing I want to address in this video is some of the criticisms I received in the comments section of the last video, stating stuff like that I wasn't being very fair with Thomas Wood, and the only things I said in the last video were the negative things. Well, to be honest, like Trimester Revolution, there are a few good things about Thomas Wood. For example, I love how they added the buffer beams to the engines because we don't see that a lot in wooden train history. And I'll admit, there are a few good items in the Thomas Wood range, or at least better than most of the others. A perfect example of this would be the Red Rosie. Although it was nice to have Red Rosie in her wooden form, even though she has a lot of unpainted spots and no domes. But I can totally understand why some people want to collect her just so they can customize her a bit to make her complete. Now, I would buy this myself, but I'm already repainting my 2015 Rosie with the inner lip wheels because I just think it would be cheaper that way. Another thing I like about Thomas Wood, besides the additional buffers and buffer beams, is the other additional detailing. As much as I don't like this version of Ashima, but at least they gave her the correct color wheels, as well as the other additional Indian detailing on the sides here. But that begs the question, why didn't they do this to the original Wooden Railway Ashima 2 years ago? That's just lazy, man. But the best wood item out of all of them has to be the candy cars, because they're like the easiest toys to fix. All I have to do is paint the unpainted spots and bada bing, they're done. They're complete. And they can fit in with Wooden Railway. Here's my message to Mattel. If you want to end Wooden Railway, at least end it on a higher note than what we've already got last year. I mean, I was expecting some of the Journey Beyond Sordor characters for Wooden Railway, or even Rex and Glynn for that matter. I know that a lot of older Thomas fans were upset that the Ertl Thomas range got discontinued in 2004, and I was pretty upset too, but at least it ended on a higher note, particularly with the U-hooks replacing the old, annoying, delicate hook and eye couplings. When I was a little boy, I always loved playing with these Ertl Thomas trains. In fact, Ertl was my #1 favorite Thomas toy of all time, with Wooden Railway being second. But my pet peeve about these Ertl trains is that when I keep playing with them, the pin hooks eventually break off, and that really frustrates me, even as a kid. Luckily, in 2002, the hook and eye couplings were replaced by the U-hooks, which were designed to make the models last longer than they should be. But unfortunately, they're only exclusive to the UK because the Ertl Thomas range got discontinued in America in 2001. Good thing there's eBay. But for this range, well, like I said in the original video, there aren't a lot of new items last year. In fact, Hugo's like the only new engine to be released that year, discounting the reintroductions of Stanley and Trevor. Well, there go my hopes and dreams in getting this custom diesel engine. While I still hate Thomas Wood, but if you like Thomas Wood, that's fine. Just don't use the "it's for kids" argument or "it's just a toy line" argument, otherwise you'll just make yourself look foolish. I know I said that maybe I'll get the candy cars and the wood adapters, but I'm not so sure if I want to do that anymore due to Mattel's response to criticism. Well, you know what they say, if you don't like Thomas Wood, don't give your money to Mattel. Oh, and one more thing. Let me give my friends and subscribers some advice. Do not attack people who like Thomas Wood. You can totally debate them in the comments, but please do not insult and attack them for having a different opinion on a certain product. I want my channel to be peaceful. I don't want any flame wars ever. Alright? So anyways, this is Trevor Davis, and I quote Ringo Starr, peace and love, peace and love.